Hey, welcome back to another video. I'm Jay Dillon, owner of TMT Agency, and over the past 4 years, I've helped generate tens of millions of dollars for creators on OnlyFans. Today, in this video, I'm going to explain why you can't hit 10K a month on OnlyFans. And if you watch everything you see in this video, you can finally break past the 10K mark. Right, so one of the biggest reasons I've realized over the past couple of years why it's so hard to hit that 10K a month mark, well, people don't understand the importance of having a team, right? So the people that aren't hitting 10K a month and I've always been struggling, always been plateaued, maybe at 6K, 7K, and never hit that 10K a month is because they've never had a team and they don't actually understand the importance of a team. So to go into more specifics, what I'm trying to say is Jeff Bezos, for example, he's a multi-billionaire, probably a trillionaire by now. Do you think he's doing everything by himself? Obviously not. He's got tens of thousands of staff members helping him run Amazon. Now you need to look at your OnlyFans account in the same way because it's a business. It's applicable for any business, right? You need team members to help you scale to the next level, okay? You can't do everything by yourself. And more importantly, now, because OnlyFans is so saturated and competitive, you are competing against other creators that have team members. Think about that, right? If you've got 10 team members all putting in 5 hours a day, that's 50 hours compared to your 5 hours you could put in by yourself, right? 50 hours a day compared to 5 hours a day, you tell me who's gonna make more money. Okay, so if you wanna get into more specifics, so what I mean by team and how you can have an OnlyFans team, well, it starts with the 24-hour chat team. This is your sales team on your account, okay? It's all good and well bringing in loads of subscribers, but if you don't have an actual sales team on your account, because that's what they are trying to make money on your account. So if you're an OnlyFans creator watching this and you're every single day waking up, doing everything by yourself, you are missing out on so much money because there's only so many hours in the day. You are not chatting on your own account for 24 hours a day. You're probably not even doing 4 hours a day. So let's say if you are doing 4 hours a day, right? That means that over a 24-day period, there's 20 hours in that day where you are not making no money. Do you not think that's going to affect if you can get past 10K a month or not? Well, there probably is, okay? Marketing, right? Now, this is where creators struggle because they have zero direction. If you don't have a marketing team help you understand your brand, your content, constantly improving on it week on week, you're gonna struggle, you're gonna have no direction, you're just gonna be chasing trends and copying other people that are already doing well. That doesn't work, right? You need a team that is honest every single day, waking up, tracking what the content you are posting, where is it going, how well is it doing, how can we improve, scripting the videos for you, coming up with the ideas. They need to be doing everything. You are a content creator. You should only be creating content. You should not be thinking about all the other bullshit, okay? And that is where the operation team will also come into play. It is like the glue between the creator and the team. So now the operations team will sort out with the scheduling, posting, all of that other back-end admin that it needs to be done, so someone has to do it, but it shouldn't be you as the content creator because it's a very low leverage activity if you're just every single day posting your own videos, editing your own videos, and then also thinking about planning and also then recording these videos. There's so much of that, and then on top of that, you still need to chat if you're doing everything by yourself. You need to understand that a chatting team, a marketing team, and an operations team together is what helps you scale past 10K a month. Right, so now let's talk about copying, not creating. This is like an endless cycle that I see creators in all the time. They just copy, and they think they are creating. You are not creating, you are just recreating something that's already worked well for someone else. For example, like these TikTok dances that Camilla and Sophie Wayne does. That works well for them, and there is a place for that, but your whole brand cannot be on that basis, okay? You need to be authentic to build a brand. It's very easy and it's very simple, right? The day and age that we're in with social media right now, people are craving people to be themselves, right? That is what is working well right now, and that's what's gonna work for the foreseeable because people are sick of other people trying to be other people, and that's exactly what you are doing if you are just copying someone else's trends instead of building your own brand around you, around your own authentic content. Now, how we do this at our agency is we will have a marketing call with you, and we will sit down and we will just talk about all your hobbies and interests, right? As much about you as possible. Then this is where we get creative, right? This is where we get creative and we build a brand around the stuff that you actually like because that's not that difficult to do, okay? Instead of just sending you loads of trends to copy from someone else, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna sit down and we're gonna say, look, what are your interests and hobbies? We're gonna get creative. We're gonna get viral verticals and niches that will shape the brand because at the end of the day, on your socials, you might as well be perceived as what you actually want to be perceived as, and you're only going to do that if you actually enjoy the content you make. And people also people see this in your videos. If you don't want to make these trends and you don't want to do these kind of videos, people can see that. But when you're doing videos that you truly believe in and you're just being yourself, it's impossible to mess up, and people love that, right? People can really see that through social media right now. Okay, inspiration, not stealing, right? You need to learn how to steal like an artist. It's going to be very hard to also just randomly create a viral vertical out of nowhere. There is going to be inspiration. You can take inspiration. There is a place for copying, but you need to learn how to steal like an artist. This is what the best creators do, because this means that you are just staying on top of trends. Now, in social media, there's always trends looping, always. There's a next viral dance, there's a next viral audio, whatever it may be. You can use that, right? You can take inspiration from that and just add to your brand that you're doing with your authentic content. And then ultimately, what ends up happening is you will stand out, because it's impossible to copy someone else's brand, right? The one thing about human beings is we are all unique. So the only way you can stand out is if you actually be yourself. Instead of forcing yourself to be someone you're not, just be yourself, understanding that what content you have is gonna go viral because you've got a team like us helping. But if you are doing this by yourself, you need to understand what you are looking for when you are trying to get inspiration from others. Don't just look at views, have a look at who is the model, and is this model someone that I want to try and be like, right? You need to get inspiration from the people that you actually want to be like as well, okay? All of this together will help you stand out, and this is how you build a brand, and this is how you stop copying and you start creating. Right, so the next segment is not understanding short form content, right? A lot of creators are still living in the world 2020, right? The game's changed now, it's 2026. The whole social media game is completely different. It used to be so much easier just posting a couple of TikToks and you could easily make 20K plus a month. Like I said before, the game is saturated now. There's a lot more creators getting way more creative and way more scientific with the content they are creating. So when it comes to short form content, if you don't understand the viral format, right, of the hook, retention, reward, and you are just mindlessly doing these random dances that used to work 5-6 years ago, you're gonna be stuck with not getting any results, because you're doing something that used to work in 2020, expecting it to work in 2026, and that does not work. The game has changed, and the faster you realize that, the faster you're gonna understand that you need to change what you are doing, okay? The content that people create now, it has to trigger emotion. It has to either shock someone, play on the lust, humor, surprise, curiosity. It could be any, right? You need to trigger emotion in short form content for it to actually be effective, okay? Back in the day, people would just be happy with watching you dance on TikTok and they would click your link and subscribe. Unless your content just triggers emotion, or unless your content doesn't trigger emotion, sorry, you're never going to get any results from it, because you're just going to get grouped in within all the other OnlyFans girls brackets, the ones that just do the viral dances. This is why none of them actually go viral, unless you are a Camilla or a Sophie Rain, and those are probably two of the most rarest models in the world right now. So it's kind of like you're setting yourself up for failure from the start, okay? Like I said before, when it comes to trigger emotion, when it comes to short form content, replays is basically, the more replays you get, the more views you get, right? Instagram, if we're taking Instagram for example, right? Meta, they're a business. They only care about one thing and one thing only, and that is making money. And the only way they're going to make money is if they show their use as adverts. So the more that you're keeping people on the platform watching your content over and over again, the more Instagram will look at that and push your videos out, because those people that you're keeping on the platform, they can show them more ads, okay? So the best way to do this as well, again, trigger emotion. You're going to get people watching something over and over again if you trigger something, if you make them laugh, if you play on the lust, if you surprise them. That's going to get replays way more, right? Every single viral video not only has a viral hook, but they have a lot of replays. It's a lot of people watching that same video over and over and over again. There's no viral video that doesn't have a good replays on their videos. So you need to look at that, have a look at the videos you are posting. I guarantee if they're not getting views, if you're not getting subs, it's because no one's actually replaying. Look at the watch time, right? These are the things that you actually need to sit down and track if you are going to do everything by yourself. And especially if you are struggling to hit 10K a month, this is one of the biggest indicators when it comes to not understanding short form content, because you most likely are posting on Instagram, TikTok, where short form content is very important. Right, so now the next reason why you can't break past the 10K a month barrier is because you probably can't keep your fans. Now, there's a few reasons why this might be, so let's go into this in a little bit more detail. The first thing is sales timing, right? You might be a little bit too spammy. If you make a fan feel that you are only speaking to him for money and just to milk him and just to rinse him and get everything from him, he's not gonna spend on you, okay? Now this is down to sales timing. When a fan subscribes, other than the welcome message, which is an indicator, if they buy that, they probably are a whale. If they don't buy that, do not then just be spamming pay-per-views over and over again. You should never really be spamming pay-per-views. They should be set up, it should be run through a script, and there should be a strategy there. Now, obviously, if you're running your own OnlyFans account, it's gonna be a lot harder for you to do that. But to your advantage, you can be way more personalized because you can send voice notes there and then, you can send pictures there and then, which obviously the chat team is gonna find it way harder in unique scenarios. However, sales timing is everything when it comes to this. This is where the relationship gets hindered, and this is why you cannot keep them at the start. You just instantly put yourself in the bracket of every other OnlyFans girl that fan is also ignoring because he's not only subscribed to you, okay? Now, you also need to think about what are we selling. A lot of people don't actually understand this. So there's three things to this, okay? Quality of feed is the first one, right? This is the thing that will draw these fans into your chat specifically, okay? Now, on OF, you can have like a feed, kind of like Instagram, but specifically for OF, obviously. So now the quality of pictures and this type of stuff that you are posting on your feed is very important. If you're just posting random pictures that you've got in your camera roll as a feed post with a random caption, then you're literally missing out on so much attention that is going to other models, that they're going to other creators that have a strategy in their feed. Because when someone subscribes as well, the first thing they see is your feed. So now if you've got an over explicit feed and you've got loads of content on there where a fan can just enjoy himself and not even go into the chats, you're obviously not going to keep that fan in the chat or even subscribe, because once you've seen all the stuff in your feed, and if there's too much explicit stuff, they're going to get what they want and never speak to you. This is something that is the first thing that stops people from making money in the chats. It's the actual feed. It needs to be a continuation of your brand on your socials. So if you are a JOY on your socials, if you're going viral for JOY content, continue that on into your feed. This will only further get these subscribers to be into your messages, okay? And then the second thing is, are we giving the fans what they want? Now, this might seem a little bit like common sense, but a lot of people don't actually understand what their fans want because they don't ask the appropriate questions and they do not write down notes of preferences. You need to understand your fan's preference. If a fan is buying solo content from you, he probably doesn't want to see boy girl content, so stop trying to push that on, especially through mass messages. Have these fans that just understand their preferences, because a lot of people will only want solo content because they want a relationship with you. That is the main thing a lot of these fans want, is an actual relationship. Now, don't get me wrong, you do get the odd fans that just come in, just want to see tapes and whatever, and you can send that across to them. You can make money easy doing that. But if you want to make the real money and keep have a loyal fan base, you need to understand their preferences and are you actually giving them what they want, because it's not always content, okay? Now I'm going to touch on that a bit more in the future, in the next point. But the third point is spamming pay-per-views. Now, back to the sales timing. Or is someone buying content from you and then you just constantly still after he's bought, or are you actually doing aftercare, which stops spamming pay-per-views? Because going back to the point before, they don't just want content, right? So if you're just shoving content down their throat, they're not going to want it, and they're not going to be in your chats again, because it's not a good experience just getting shoved pay-per-views constantly, okay? Now, no whale creation is huge, okay? Whales, more than anyone, want more than just content, okay? You need to understand the 80-20 rule. 20% of fans equals 80% of the money. These are the whales, but a lot of people do not have any whales. You do, you just don't know that they're there, and you're not asking the right questions, and you're not understanding what your fans want, because there will be a lot of whales that want more than just content. A lot of these guys, they just want a relationship with a model. So if you're not providing that, or your chat team or you yourself are not providing that, not only are you missing out on whales, so 80% of your money through the whales, because you're not creating any whales, but you're missing out on just anyone that actually wants a relationship with you, which will be a lot more people than you think. But if you are a creator that is looking at all these problems that I've just faced, and that might be you and you just kind of don't know where to go, we are more than happy to do a content audit for you. We can do a full OF account audit for you. We can do a social media marketing audit for you, where we can literally highlight the mistakes that you are doing. You can then fix them yourselves or do whatever you want to do after that. But if you want us to help you identify where you might be going wrong, just drop me a message on my Instagram. It should be in the description somewhere below. Other than that, I hope you lot have enjoyed this video. I hope there's been some kind of value where you can actually take into your own lives and scale your own accounts. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.